Good morning, everyone. Niles Banghauser, CEO of TechStop here. And today we are going to talk more about cybersecurity. And today we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about what is cybersecurity and kind of an introduction about why this is such an important topic now. We've got a special guest, Stu Lambert, who will be joining us today to share some of the things he's seen in the industry as well. So we will be right back with you here in just a moment. Hi, Stu. How are you doing?
Hey, Niles, how are you?
Good, good. Um, yeah, cybersecurity. It's a big topic, and we actually have some breaking news that we'll talk about as well coming from CISA. First, why don't you just introduce yourself, who you are, what you do?
Sure. My name is Stu Lambert. I'm with the CEO of Lambert Technology Solutions. I've been in the IT field and cybersecurity field for about 25 years there. I guess I'm showing my age a little bit, but been all around, did some enterprise work as well as a lot of work for small businesses. So we are out to help protect our clients from digital threats.
Yeah, awesome. Um, we talk about cybersecurity all the time and really hammer home all these different tips and tricks and things you need to be doing in your business. But why is this such a big topic now in 2022?
Well, it's a big topic because you can be attacked or for yourself or your business. It's not like someone has to come and knock on your door and take your wallet. They can do it electronically. They can do it without prosecution because they're doing it halfway across the world, and your money could be gone in a split second. Or your business could be ruined in a matter of a click. Within 10 minutes, all of your data, which is the most important part of that, could be encrypted, and hopefully you have a backup. You have some sort of way to restore yourself back to make yourself whole.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting easier and easier, and we all have to be good every day. They only have to be good once, right? To really ruin your day. So that's
Yeah,
why it's such a
absolutely.
big topic, that there's a lot of money in it. There's little chance of being prosecuted. And if you are not prepared, then, it could really ruin your life, your business,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, we see clients getting scammed out of tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars just in one attack. Um,
correct.
so,
Wire transfer fraud is enormous when it comes to that. That's an easy, depending on the size of your business, it could be $10,000 to make your life heck, or it could be $500,000. It depends on
mhm.
the size of the business. But
Yeah, and a lot of the headlines we see are about these attacks going against enterprises. And unfortunately, enterprises who have the resources to implement more advanced cybersecurity strategies, they they can kind of absorb those hits a little easier, I think, than small businesses. Um, so
I would
what?
I would definitely agree with that. I mean, you don't hear about the small guy getting hit because it doesn't make huge headlines, right? You're going to find the Equifaxes or the local healthcare companies that, they were fined $5 million for losing something from, or left a laptop in a car with 1,000 patients' personal information, right? But you don't hear about the small distributor, the warehouse, the small manufacturer. They just kind of silently go out of business a lot of the times.
Mhm. So what kind of attacks are you seeing hit small businesses?
A vast majority of the attacks actually come through email, whether it's what they call business email compromise, which is where your email gets hacked, or the fraud comes through via changing the wire instructions on an invoice. That's really big. Email is definitely the easiest attack vector there is. You can create a enormous firewall and surrounding your business with every bit of security, but that's what has to be let in the front door. And if you click on the wrong link or don't educate yourself on um, what a phishing email looks like, you could be in trouble very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. We just had a small business that we were working with. They were not compromised, but a company they work with was compromised. And they get this fake invoice for $16,000 that they ended up paying, not realizing that that was going straight into the scammers' pockets.
Well, that's very common because you trust the people you do business with,
Hmm.
right? I have a client that is literally two people, but he is very well known in the industry. He runs an association and they have thousands of members, and everybody's going to accept an email from him because they know this gentleman and they know that he sends out these emails. So it might not just be the money from you. They could certainly find their next attack vector based on the type of organization it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And the sad part too is while these scams are so commonplace, uh, what's even worse is that after an attack, most businesses aren't doing anything to prevent another one.
That's disconcerting.
Yeah.
And it's really not that expensive to protect yourself or put more safeguards in place to do that. I mean, it's literally the training or an anti-spam solution or something like that would definitely, I mean, that's not expensive at all.
Hmm. And this actually reminds me of how compliance works. You know, if you're a medical facility that's HIPAA compliant, or you run credit cards, so you have to be PCI compliant. One of the big things about it is not being perfect necessarily, not doing everything perfectly, but showing that you're making efforts to improve more and more every year, every month. You're making efforts to improve and
I
doing.
agree. The one thing you have to be concerned about is that compliance does not equal security.
Mhm.
Okay, and the the way I put that is you have a lock on your front door. So, according to the compliance, yep, I have a lock on my front door that checks the checkbox. But if you don't lock the door and actually close the door, then you're not secure, right? And a
Yeah.
lot of people forget that. They say, well, I'm compliant with everything that I need to do, but they don't utilize what they were supposed to implement. They've got the blinky light, but it was never configured properly, or it wasn't monitored properly, right? Or I have a backup and I have never tested it. And when you have that moment, oh, it didn't work. Oh, damn. Now what, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that leads right into something else we were talking about earlier is training. Training,
mhm,
training, training is so important. Okay, like you said, you have a door lock, but if everyone isn't trained on who is responsible for locking it and making sure it's done, and you have people who follow up to make sure it's being done,
right,
um, what good is it? So
right.
when it comes to cybersecurity training, where does that fall into place here?
Um, that's fake phishing attempts. Something that looks really good that it's a FedEx or my favorite is your Office 365 or your G Suite password is expired and now you need to go in and change it, and need to be able to recognize that, as well as standard cybersecurity training that will um, explain to you how ransomware works and how it functions. I mean, not getting into the technological weeds of it, but at least give you a good overview of your understanding.
Hmm. Yeah,
Being able to spot that the human firewall is definitely what needs to be improved with a lot of people, including myself. I mean, they're getting better. When the grammar gets better and the spelling gets better, it's going to be harder and harder to uh, pick a good one out from a bad one.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's why I mean we spend several hours every single week getting better and better at what we do. Right? I
Right.
mean, it's and things like this alert. I'm going to go ahead and I'll share my screen so we can look at this article that just came out. Um, but we have to stay up on these things that are happening so that we can help our clients um, prepare and understand and um,
Absolutely.
keep themselves secure. So
Got to go
here.
check those doorknobs to make sure that they're locked.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so this alert just came out from CISA government agency on cybersecurity. And do you want to go ahead and give us a rundown of what this is about?
This actually came out from 3 agencies. This was the Cybersecurity Incident, Infrastructure and Security Agency. Sorry, I forgot what that acronym stood for real quick. As well as the FBI and the Treasury Department. What this is the according to them, the North Koreans are attacking healthcare organizations. So figure small, doctor's offices, 1-2 doctor physician offices, up to full-scale health organizations is what seems to be their target right at the moment. And I haven't gotten all the full details, as it literally, when we were waiting in the green room, is when I got the email from the U.S. CERT, and it appears that it comes in via email, an attachment, a malformed PDF or Word document. So this is where the training really comes into play. Always enforce your multi-factor authentication, as they say. That is a huge part of that, and is now a requirement for most cyber insurance policies, is you have to say, yes, I'm doing that. And the other part of it is you have to maintain your security infrastructure, whether it's just updating your antivirus or malware. Make sure it's there. Make sure it's running. That's something that we all need to do. Quick check in the morning could save you, up to millions of dollars.
Yeah. And it starts simple. Start implementing something that you haven't been doing before today.
Right.
Get a good training platform in place. Get your multi-factor authentication enabled.
I think what it really says is you need a good partner.
Yeah.
Like you, or I hate to toot my own horn, but like us, you are and I are both security first organizations. You have to protect it before you can improve it, right? And this can get really complicated, and it can get really in the weeds. So you need to have a good partner. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm the last thing that I am the furthest thing from an accountant there is, but I have a good partner that is my accountant, and I trust what this person says, and that they definitely need to develop that relationship. Don't necessarily have to purchase services from either one of us, but you need to have somebody you can lean on to say, what do you think? Right? I'm always up for those questions. I'd rather people be protected than worried about the dollar. That's for sure.
Yeah. You can't, you no longer can have, your IT guy or IT provider be someone that you only call when there's a problem. They need to be a partner that helps advise you in your company to regularly maintain these things, advise you when there's new risks that are coming out, and new technologies that maybe you would need to implement in your business to keep you safe. So don't let it go unchecked. If your IT provider is not reaching out to you and talking to you about these things, then you need to partner with someone who will.
You're right. I would agree with you 100%. This is an ongoing battle. It is not a set it and forget it type of situation. Things are changing way too rapidly.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a cat and mouse game, and the mice keep changing, and they keep getting better every day. So,
yeah, that something I like to talk about is, do you think the hackers are using tools that are 10 years outdated, or do you think they're using the latest and greatest tools that they just programmed last night? Well, your security solutions keep up.
We find exposure in software that we thought's been great for 10, 15 years, and now all of a sudden there's a new security hole, right? So they're using everything at their disposal, and they're trying everything new all day long. This is not every tool that they can pull out of their toolbox, they certainly are.
Yeah.
So
definitely. Yeah, so you need security strategies that keep up with those changes.
Agreed, 100%.
So, well, yeah, thank you so much for joining us. If there's one thing that you would advise businesses to do today for their cybersecurity, what would it be?
Get a risk assessment. that will tell you where you are, where you're going to need to be, what you need to fix, patch up the holes. Many times it's just a configuration change, and it's not a crazy set of blinky lights that's going to cost you $10,000. It's literally, uh, a couple of changes in your mail provider or something like that that could prevent a lot of this. So by having someone do a really good assessment that will cover all the bases, and that'll actually help you get cyber insurance if you haven't already. And that's I've seen several clients that's coming down from the people that they supply, the large businesses that they're a part of. So that get yourself a risk assessment. That way you protect yourself and can prove to your clients that you're prepared.
Yeah, you get the risk assessment and then be open-minded about listening to the results and acting on them.
Absolutely.
Just having the assessment done is only part of the process.
Right.
So
Yep.
okay, well, awesome. Thank you again, Stu, for joining us. Anyone tuning in, our contact information is right at the bottom of the screen, as well as in the description. So you can definitely reach out to either one of us if you have any questions, or you want to get a risk assessment done. We can certainly help you out with that as well. So
Thank you, Niles. I appreciate it.
yeah, thanks.